You have been freed for less than a year now. You've been traveling the world sharing your story. You were invited to the Oval Office by the President of the United States. What have these past few months of freedom been like for you?
Wow. First of all, thank you for having me. Um, it's been it's been like a roller coaster, ups and downs all the time. Um, I all the time I say I came from the Hamas tunnels to the Oval Office in such a short time. Um, it really is like a roller coaster because all those times I'm going to events, I speak those engagements and I do advocacy and I get a lot of love and and after all this love, I have this all this high, this very big high, and at some point, sometimes you just remember all the things I've been through. So it is like roller coaster, ups and downs.
Yeah. So you've previously said that being in captivity never leaves you, it only takes a different form. Can you describe what you mean by that?
I think I experienced many things there, many things there, horrible things. It's something that, like you said, it you cannot you cannot let go of it. But and it's like how do you say it? Wait just a second. I'm sorry.
That's it.
Like it comes out with PTSD. You understand? Like I can still feel captivity when I'm hearing I don't know jets in the sky or loud noises, something that really triggers me.
Yep.
So that's a thing that stayed with me from captivity. But I really think that ever since I came out, I became a better version of myself. Yeah, I'm trying to be a better. Um, I'm trying to spread light and happiness and love. And I hope I'm getting there. I'm doing it.
Is it difficult for you to keep sharing your story like this?
Well, sometimes, it's actually I've noticed that it depends. It depends on events. It depends on the engagement, engagement itself. Um, the part that is most hard for me to tell is it's the day of the seven. Because it brings up a lot of bad memories. Uh, Even though through captivity I've been through a lot of horrible things, this day because I've seen so much. But I don't know, it's something that just got stuck with me. Maya and Itai Regel, they're siblings. Maya and I, we are very close friends from high school, I would say. And we decided to go to this festival with a couple musicians. Maya brought Tai, her brother, a young brother, and I remember on the day of the seventh, we were seven friends, including Maya and Tai, and another friend. His name is Ori Danino. Ori Danino, I've only met him 2 hours before the party. He's a friend of a friend, and on 6:29 a.m., Hamas attacked Israel, and I remember us clearing the area, and just everyone left the area except Maya, Tai, and myself, and I remember just things starting to happen. I remember finding my time myself in this big open field area with hundreds of people running for their lives, hearing gunshots from every direction, seeing people getting shot, bodies thrown inside pits and bushes. Um, After maybe 2 hours of running and seeing hell, Ori Danino, he got my number from another friend, and like I said, I've only met him 2 hours before the party, and he told me to send him my live location to WhatsApp, and I sent him my live location, and he came back into the active terror attack. He was already in a safe place. He came back to save my time myself, and Henri, unfortunately, he was abducted. I didn't know it at the time, and He was in Hamas captivity for 11 months, and after 11 months, he was brutally murdered by Hamas. His body was retrieved to Israel. But I remember while we were inside the vehicle that we drive for maybe 10 minutes, and then we get on the road. And we see the Hamas vehicles, they're blocking the road. Immediately they start shooting us. I remember Maya at the back screaming. She was talking on the phone with her father. And she's screaming, "Dad, I get shot, I'm about to die." I see Ori opening the door and he starts running away. And shooting stops. The terrorists, they take us out of the vehicle, Maya and Tai and myself. They beat us while we were on the ground. They spit on us. I remember seeing Maya and Tai, both of them, they were shot in their legs. Maya's leg was hanging on strings of flesh. It was basically cut off. And for a few minutes, we lay there on the floor while they were bleeding. And terrorists, they take us, they throw us in the back of the pickup truck and drive to Gaza.
How do you keep going after something like that?
It's a good question. You know, the first 2 weeks I was in depression. I couldn't accept that I was taken. I couldn't accept that situation. But after 2 weeks, I've realized that I have a choice to make right now. And this choice here, it's or to sink into depression and sadness, or to choose life and to make lemonade out of the lemons. And I chose life. I chose faith in God, and the faith in God is something that really kept me going throughout the time I was there. I saw miracles, you know. So it's something that I couldn't how do you say להתעלם, ignore. I couldn't ignore it. I couldn't ignore the explosions.
So you were kept in captivity in different phases. I believe you were somewhere for the first 50 days, and then you were in a tunnel. Can you describe what that was like and how you survived that as well?
So yeah, the first 50 days I was with Itai, and we were moved from apartment to apartment. We were dressed as a woman, and we would walk in the streets of Gaza. And after 54 days, during those times in tunnels, we were starved. We didn't have any human interaction. Most of the time, we were just the two of us inside a room, a locked room, and that's it. They abandoned us inside an apartment for maybe 3 or 4 weeks. They brought us food once in a while, a couple pieces of bread, and that's it. It's scary. It's scary to be in an apartment during war. It's something that is scary. That Israel, the IDF, before they attack a place, they inform the area to leave, to clear the area. The Hamas terrorists, they wouldn't take us from there. They just would leave us there, and they would just, so it's a scary thing to be there during war. But after 54 days, my and Tai were released. And immediately I was brought down into tunnels. The first 50 days, I was inside a very, very small cell. It was 120 feet under the ground. I was in complete darkness. I was starved in the most extreme way. I was skinny. I was very, very skinny. I was weak. I didn't shower for 100 and something days. It was hard. Very hard.
What's it like to be alone for that long?
At first, it's driving you crazy. But then, for me, they say a person can find light only through darkness, and I found that light. And after this week or so that I felt like I was going crazy, suddenly it's peace, quiet.
Did you ever ask your Hamas captors, why did you carry out the October 7th massacre? Why are you holding me hostage? Why are you starving me?
It's a good question. It's a good question. You know what? I asked them about it, but they always told me that it's about their a lot of people think it's about the land. They're fighting for the land. Um, First of all, I think people should learn history and understand that we've been in this land for thousands of years. And second of all, they never mentioned the land for me. They always told me it's about religion. They always told me that their goal is to after they kill the Jews in Israel, they will go on to the entire world to kill the Jews and the Christians, by the way. This any other religion but them. Um, but they see the reason they did that attack. It's on me to kill us.
What was it like knowing that other people were being released when you were still in captivity? And did you know that your family was fighting for you?
I first of all, no, I didn't know. My parents fought for me. The family fought for me. My parents are the founders of the family hostage forum, and they did an amazing job. I'm just very, very proud of them. But I remember that on the first phase that the some hostages were released, I felt like I was left behind. It's such a hard feeling. It's such a hard feeling, to stay there alone. And I was, like I said, I was taken into time. I was immediately complete darkness. You have no idea what's going on above you. You have no idea if there is still war, if there is a ceasefire. You don't know nothing. So it's hard. But when people ask me, I tell them, like, a lot of people ask me, what would you do if it would be the other way around? Yes. And I tell them, I don't know. I think it's a lot harder for the families than it was for my family. I'm gonna talk about myself. I think it was a lot harder for my family than it was for me.
I remember you saying, I heard you say before that you once thought that you were blind because it was just so dark. You tell me about that.
Yeah, that was during those 50 days. That cell, you are, listen, after a few days, you're in complete darkness. You can't see even shadows moving. You can't see nothing. It's darkness. It's so dark you can't even imagine it. And after maybe 3 weeks inside that cell, I had a chance to steal a small flashlight from one of the guards, and I stole this flashlight. And once in a while, I used to turn it on just to see that I'm seeing, and seeing bright colors for the first time. I remember moving to another tunnel, and there was white walls there, so it was it hurted my eyes. It was yes.
And so, just so people understand as well, these are not just tunnels that are newly dug. I mean, these were, long worked on. Can you describe what they were like?
Yeah, of course. First of all, they are. It's a city down there. It's huge. It's huge. There is really, I cannot explain the length of those tunnels. I was completely shocked. But not only these are old tunnels and new tunnels. There are many tunnels there. During the war, when tunnels used to collapse, I was their slave, yeah. So I used to dig those tunnels. I used to dig new tunnels, like every day, almost every day. Just dig new tunnels, and I used to cook for them and clean for them. And so they're I was shocked to see the tunnels there. It was something crazy.
I wanted to ask you this. I know you cooked with them. Did you ever sneak anything in the food?
Eat the food? I wish I didn't have something. But they always, before they add the food, they told me to taste it before. They want me to see they want me to taste it to see that it's not poisoned.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow. So tell me about the day you were freed. You were paraded around in this propaganda staged event. What was that like?
Yeah. I remember standing on that stage. It was something. I'm so excited to go back home. That the crowd that was there, it's a crowd full of hate for us. They were throwing things, and it's something that most of the people will say it's scary. Yeah, but for me, I was so excited that what's that? Sorry. Oh, good. For me, I was so sorry.
It's okay. I think it's, but I'll let you.
Yeah. For me, I was so excited that sorry, it was just
It's okay. Take your time.
for me, I was so excited that I couldn't care. I didn't care about this crowd. I didn't care about this hate. I knew that I'm going back home. I saw those Red Cross vehicles, and I knew that I'm gonna see my mom and my dad very soon. So I didn't care. I didn't care. I just wanted to get those in those vehicles, drive to this. I remember I was kind of in those vehicles, and we got into an IDF safe zone inside Gaza, and it's something that, wow, seeing the soldiers for the first time, it's such a relief. All this weight of soldiers on your shoulders just disappears. And then seeing my mom and dad,
What was that like?
it's hard to explain. It's very, very hard to explain. It's pure happiness. Pure happiness.
What's been the biggest surprise since your return, or even challenge?
It's a good question. My biggest surprise is that when I was taken to the hospital, my sister Dana, she told me that Maya Regev and my best friend are dating. I was I was very, very surprised. Um, but I was very surprised to see the love, the support. Right? I wasn't aware of it. So seeing the love, the support, the unity in Israel, it was amazing.
Has it been challenging to reconnect with your friends and family after, they don't know your lived experiences? It's challenging for them. Was it hard to relate to people again?
It's a good question. I can tell that with my friends and my family, it's something that immediately it was like before, like nothing happened. Like I saw the way they looked at me. They wanted to know a lot, but the jokes and everything became normal very, very quickly. But with other people, it's a bit hard. People don't really understand what it's like. But slowly, right a bit.
What was it like when you saw all of the last living hostages come home? Where were you, and what was that day like for you?
I was home. I was with my family. We couldn't get off the TV. Being on the other side, for the first time, it's something that I could see the joy and the happiness in the streets, and just the way Israel is so, the nation of Israel, they just waited for it, and they so long. So it's very, very exciting, very exciting.
I've heard you say before that while there were still living hostages in Gaza, you felt guilty for doing some of the most basic things, eating, showering. And
Yeah.
I'm curious to know if you still feel that way now.
I do, of course. Of course.
Tell me about that.
There are still hostages there. There's still 4 hostages there. Maybe that by the time it's getting published, it's going to be 3. Yeah, but there's still hostages there. And I know that their families, they are just completely broken. And for us, we can move on until it's take all of them are back home, until the last one.
This is the question I wanted to know the answer most for. Did you believe in peace before October 7th, and how has your answer changed today?
I did believe in peace in 47. In Israel, they always teach us about peace. It's something that we were raised on. From kindergarten, there's songs about it. Everything is about peace in Israel. Even the most basic thing is that, and this is something my dad told me, it's you could see in many nations signs of birds. For example, in the U.S., an eagle. In Egypt, an eagle. In Germany, an eagle. This big, very majestic bird. And in Israel, we have a dove that resembles peace. Understand? So even in the basic core of our country, we live for peace. Understand? We always wanted peace. We don't want war. But on the day of the 7th, when I got into Gaza and I saw the hatred in their eyes, and I mean everyone, really everyone, kids and women and men, and I was shocked. Those dreams and hopes shattered completely. And it's devastating, but I really do wish we could just talk with them, for peace, but I don't see it happening.
Did any of your captors ever say that they would never stand down, Hamas would stand strong?
Of course, all the time.
Do you know if they're...
Ready, we have to finish.
We have to go. Okay, last question, but
Okay.
do you know if any of them are still alive, your captors?
But that Karen said.
No?
No.
I think that is everything. Thank you so much. I
Thank
look
you.
forward to hearing you talk
Thank you
tonight.
so
Be
much.
there.
Thank you.
Thank you.